Hello and welcome to Beyond the Scale, Weight Loss and Wellness. I'm your host, Coach Monica. I'm joined today by Coach Darcy, and we are here to guide you through the ins and outs of a lifestyle that's transformed not just our lives, but the lives of countless women navigating the waves of perimenopause and menopause. Whether you're here to shed weight, understand your body better, or simply find a community that gets it, you're in the right place. So sit back and enjoy the next few minutes as we tackle the hot issues of today. Good morning.
Good afternoon.
How are you, Coach?
We got to be inclusive on what
Yeah.
people are watching,
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah. Some people are just waking up
Yep,
now, and other people are like ready to head to bed.
absolutely.
How are you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great. Ball season is
Oh,
taking over my life.
yeah.
So, and apparently I have a preteen that is going into middle school, so that's taking over my life.
Yikes.
So, yeah, anything that gives me anxiety and flutters in my heart, I like to balance that out. And I don't like when I have things topped on top of each other. So I don't know
Right.
how those people
Yeah.
that have every
Welcome.
slot filled up do it.
Yeah. Well, like we talked in group last night, no is a complete sentence, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But who are you going to say no to?
Right. When we sign up our kids for baseball, we've got to, and
Yeah.
band, we've got to be there. But
Oh,
hey, how about you?
I'm doing well. We
Yeah.
are officially on baby watch.
Yes.
Yep. We had to get my daughter-in-law through her goal. She's an amazing fundraiser, and her job is to raise money for our local Christian school here, and that's what she does for a living. So they were in an active capital campaign and building onto their school, and so she has like drug this thing through. I think it's been about 2 years. You know
Wow.
how long those things are.
Yeah.
And so we got to Saturday, and Saturday is when they pulled out the shovels to break ground. And that's all she
Awesome.
wanted to do is make it, because she drug this thing out. She did it. I mean, there was a whole team that did it, obviously, but
Right.
I attribute the success to her.
Yes. Yes. Now the
So
green light happens.
she was just wanted, and I told her, I said, listen, babe, I will drag you out there in a wheelchair in between contractions if we need to. You will be there holding that shovel. We didn't need the wheelchair.
That's good.
We did not need the wheelchair. She
Yeah.
made it. They did their fundraiser. They did their thing, and so the administrator of the school posted on Facebook last night. Excitement about the groundbreaking, and I commented. I said, okay, can you release the mother of my grandchild to go give birth now? Can she do it? And he gave her the clearance.
So green light is
we're
good.
officially on
There you
baby
go.
watch
Yes.
for my
That's
little
amazing.
granddaughter to be born. I can't even believe it. Can't even believe saying that.
No.
Granddaughter.
You gotta practice that.
Well, if she is any indication of what having a grandson and how cute he is, and oh my gosh.
Yeah, you're
Just
screwed.
wait. Just wait. I mean, there's nothing that little child could not ask me for that I would not give him.
Right? Yeah.
Nope.
That
Nope.
whole, yep.
Did I tell you the trickery of my son, by the way?
Which
So
one? You have
having a
3 of them.
parent as a health coach is a real bad deal for my kids, right? Like we face it with our clients, like the judgmental, nobody wants to go out to eat with us. Nobody, it's just a
Mhm.
bad situation all the way. Well, try having a child, well, you do, and you
Yes.
experience it, and they vocalize their discontent with
Yes.
the healthy
All
eating.
the time.
Well, when your grandson goes to your snack drawer and would like a cookie, now I don't put the cookies in there, just for the record. I don't
Right.
put that. But
Right.
I have a carboholic that lives in my house, that does not subscribe to my ways. He's a fireman. And so I don't say anything because he saves lives, right? Whatever. You do you. Well, my grandson knows where that snack drawer is. And when he says, Mammy, and he says, come, and he goes to the snack drawer, what am I going to do? Right?
Yeah.
am I going to do? So my son, who is subscribes to my ways and knows the dangers of sugar, says, "Okay, mom, you can give that little guy a cookie if you eat two." Now, I
If
don't
we all
cheat.
had that mindset, you taught him well.
He's a conniver is what he is. So what did I do? I went to Target,
Oh.
El Target, and I got they have some really good kid snacks, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
There's this thing called, and it's not keto, but there's this thing called um what's it called? That's all. It's the
That's
fruit
it.
bars. That's it. You don't need
Yes.
this.
And those are still pretty legit.
Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah.
like simple apples and mangoes or strawberries and apples. I mean it's literally two ingredients, which would be the
Yeah.
best. I mean, those are great. Um, so
My
that's
kids
what
love
this
them.
Grammy did. She went to go get healthy snacks because I
Good for
can, in good
you.
conscience, give him crap. I can do
Right.
that. I
Right.
may give him some. It's hard. Those little eyes look at you. Oh man, that
Yeah.
is like torture.
Yeah.
So bacon. We're going to talk about
Yeah,
bacon
let's
today.
let's do it.
Let's talk about some myths,
Because
okay?
because this coach has not had breakfast yet and
Oh,
bacon sounds amazing.
that's right.
So
That's right. I am hungry too.
no worries.
Yeah. Well, I always laugh because, in our line of work, we get told a whole bunch of stuff,
Oh, yeah.
from the
Yes.
naysayers, from those people who don't understand what we're doing, get
Yes.
told a whole bunch of stuff. And one of the things, and I laugh, and I titled the podcast this today because this is legit. Well, coach, don't you eat a pound of bacon and lick a stick of butter all day? Isn't that what the keto diet is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's where stories like the article that was going around with the man with
Oh,
cholesterol in his hands came
oh my
about.
gosh.
That is the nonsense that we're going to
Yeah.
kind of help balance out and make straight,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. Yeah. There are so many misinformation out there. And I think, honestly, it started by physicians
Oh,
who
yeah.
don't know what the heck they're talking
Yeah.
about.
Blame it on something.
Yeah. Um, and that really is an annoying factor that we have to deal with every day. Clients going to their doctor and saying, "Oh, your LDL's a little bit high, so why don't you eat a low fat, high sugar diet?" And they do, and they gain 75 pounds after the
Mhm.
60 that they lost.
Yep.
And for some reason, they're in a much better, healthier state after gaining that
Yes,
75
because now
pounds.
they're on medication, and
Is-
so they're in the safe zone, right?
Exactly. And the
Yeah.
doctor's pockets are padded, are they
Yeah.
not? Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I said this in group last night. I said, I usually judge my doctor's physique
Exactly.
when they're
Truly.
trying to tell me to eat a certain way, but yet
Mhm.
I am healthier than
Yeah.
they look. I don't judge often, but when somebody's saying, hey, you need to eat more vegetables and fruits and a
How's it working
moderation
for
of
you,
carbs, I'm
doc?
like, what do you think I do?
Yeah. Those same
Yet
people are
my
eating
LDL is
Twinkies.
on the higher side, yet you've got love handles spilling over on your shorts. So
Yeah.
sorry,
And
that's
that's
rude.
the same.
Me
I
being rude.
try not to do any judgment either. I mean, when you're in our line of work, pretty much all you see is calories and sugar. I mean, that's what you
Yes.
see. That's my line of sight is how many calories and how many grams of sugar, right? I just see
Yes.
things because you can't unsee things after you learn it.
Right.
I kind of do that for pastors too. There's a really big epidemic with obese pastors.
Yes.
That is what it
Unhealthy
is. Come
ones.
at me. Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
Let's
Come at me.
That is a topic that I have become very passionate about lately.
Not politically correct.
n- I'm very passionate because I have on the biblical side of things, I have
Hmm.
my thoughts. And
Yeah.
anyway,
Well, we
we're
can
not
judge.
talking about that
We can
today.
judge all of those other sins, but
Yes.
we can't judge the gluttony
No.
sin, right?
No. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we have our own sins. I'm not,
Yep.
so I can't,
Yep.
like, that's one pointing, like, I have my own log in my eye. So
Yeah.
there's that.
I remember sitting in a sermon one time, and the pastor was actually addressing gluttony. And I remember being almost 300 pounds, and that was a hard sermon to sit through. I mean, it was hard
Mhm.
because you felt like you can't see everybody else's sins, but you could see mine on the
Yeah.
outside. It
Yeah.
was
Ours is
hard.
not hideable.
It was not hideable. It was very, very
Uh-uh.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about this
So
bacon then.
so
Speaking
have
of
you ever
gluttony,
had 4 pounds of bacon? Like, have you ever done that?
in one setting,
Yeah, like, in one day?
no, no,
No,
no,
no.
no, no. So what I do in my household, because
Mhm.
that is probably the only protein that my children are like, eat it like candy. So
Yeah.
could they do it?
Mhm.
Quite possibly.
Oh, yeah.
But I've had to get to the point where I make 4 pounds of bacon
Mhm.
all at once, and then I try to savor it out like throughout. But
Yeah.
then there was one day I was walking past Silas, my youngest, going into the kitchen, and I looked down, and he has a handful of bacon, like 2 hands holding a pile of bacon,
Uh-huh.
going towards the couch, which we don't eat on the couch, but he thinks that since he's the youngest, he gets away with
Of
things.
course, of
And I'm
course.
like, "Where are you going with all that bacon? I just made it." Like, "I'm just gonna eat it."
Is he the
Like,
one that eats tahini sauce by the bottle too? I love that child.
he the tahine powder, yeah,
Yes,
he, like,
yes.
sits and licks the tahine, and I looked at the ingredients, I don't think there's anything terrible in there for him, but
Yeah.
yeah, like
Well, in all seriousness, when you're on the ketogenic lifestyle, and we joke about, all the bacon, and bacon is a superfood. Like,
it
it
is.
is it is absolutely superfood. We have some really amazing recipes. I think we do Nisha Berry's, like how she makes it into bacon
Oh, yeah,
chips. That's my go-to snack. There's a lot of stuff, but in all seriousness, what we teach is a balanced lifestyle of fats, proteins, and carbs, right?
yeah.
So really, it is all about balance. And now, do you have a favorite bacon recipe? What is your favorite thing that you do with bacon?
I put it in the oven.
Ooh,
Crisp
you
it
bake
up.
it.
I
Okay.
bake it. That's
Okay.
the only way that I make bacon anymore, because any
Ah.
other way, it, like, almost becomes chewy and it's
Uh-huh.
not crispy.
Okay.
So
How long? What's your
I
stats
do
on that?
like sometimes if I'm anxious and not anxious, antsy, I do 430
Uh-huh.
in there, but if you cook it in a slow way, so like
Oh,
425, then
okay.
it's not as rubbery. So,
425 for
yeah,
how long?
I just cook it till and then I flip it, and then I
Okay.
just watch it. Like, I have no timing. But I
Gotcha.
flip it till I like it almost burnt,
Uh-huh.
but not burnt.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
So,
Interesting.
how about you?
I love the bacon chips. And that's where you cook in mass. Like, you put it
Mhm.
in a big pot, like a big soup pot, and you put about 4 packages in there, and you just throw it in there and stir it up. You can cut it up. I think
Mhm.
that's what Nisha does.
Yeah,
She
she
cuts it
does. She
up,
cuts it up.
and it's like cooking in its own soup. And then you drain it and you put it in Ziploc baggies, and you take that. That's one of the big travel hacks that we have.
Yes.
When you're traveling, is throw some bacon chips into a Ziploc bag, portion them out because you can't overeat them. Um, but I think the other thing that I love bacon for is making a fatty salad.
Mm,
Um, if, if you're not carnivore, fatty salads are really, really important. Number one, it
right.
fills you up. You've got to have a salad that fills you up. And
Yes.
so when we encourage our people, when they're eating out, like at a conference, and they're looking down, if there's a Mexican buffet, I say, look down, put your skinny eyes on, look down the line. What do you have? Okay, you've got some lettuce, you got the foundation of a salad. Now, what protein and what fat can you throw on that on there, and plan your plate in preparation for that.
Yeah.
So save room. If you got to go 3 steps down and get the lettuce, save room, plan your plate accordingly. But fatty salads, and I just rely on bacon a lot for
Mhm.
that, for
Yeah.
the protein.
I even do that with my eggs in the morning, where, I have a hard time feeling full. Um,
Mhm.
so I utilize bacon, and that
Mhm.
might mean I eat 5 slices of bacon
Yeah.
with my eggs.
Yeah.
But I feel full for a very long time. So I make my meal count. It's not that
Yeah.
I'm just eating bacon and then eating more bacon and eating more bacon throughout like
Yeah.
all day long like they think that we do.
Yeah.
But there is a limitation on how much you should have,
Right.
right?
Right.
So,
I compare it to like a movie. When you're watching a movie, Bacon is not the lead actor, it's the supporting actor. You can't
right.
do the movie without it, but it's not the lead.
Right.
And a lot of time, I think that's a lot of why people fail at carnivore, because they believe they can eat everything they want and as
Right.
much as they want. And you can't. You can actually
Right.
gain weight.
Right. If your scale is stalled and you're eating carnivore,
Mm-hmm.
then you're eating too much or you're eating too often, I think.
Yeah.
And you're not making your meals count
Right.
when you are eating.
Yeah.
But if you're constantly feeling like you're not hungry on
Mm-hmm.
carnivore, then you're not eating the right
Mm-hmm.
types of protein either.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
we
Here's a
learned that the hard way.
Here's a quiz for you.
Yeah.
What has more carbs? Spinach or bacon?
That would be spinach. Easy.
Yeah, yeah,
Easy.
definitely. That was an easy one.
How about eggs versus bacon?
Ooh. I think bacon has less carbs.
Okay.
Because is there one carb
There's like
in
yeah.
eggs?
Yeah, there's some carbs
One,
in eggs.
nearly zero in
Yeah.
bacon. So yeah.
Yeah. Interesting, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So bacon is a sidekick, right? We don't lick a stick of butter. Now, some people actually do. It's actually scary on some of those carnivore pages. They just like chew butter. I couldn't ever do that. I can't even do the butter carnivore crack. I can't
I
even do that.
think as long as I salt my butter, I can do that. But
Oh.
it is really tasty if you have, butter with your
Uh-huh.
steak or something.
Yeah.
And the thing that the butter does is I think is for those people that don't like to eat the fattier cuts of meat of
Yeah.
steak or
Yeah.
ground beef, or if they're eating lean chicken or
Yeah.
turkey. Don't rely on turkey and carnivore. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
please no.
Um,
I mean,
but
chemically wise too, like composition wise,
yeah,
it's not good.
right,
The lean chicken is not good for you.
right. So the butter is a
Mm-hmm.
helpful tool. I think even on carnivore and keto, people rely too much on dairy.
Mm-hmm.
So between that
Yeah.
and like if you have a choice between bacon and dairy, choose I would say choose bacon
Yeah.
all day
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
And come at me.
100%.
Come
Yeah.
at me.
We're not
I
afraid
was
of
there for both.
controversy.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what is your craziest keto myth that you have heard come through your pipeline?
Oh gosh. It's just what I watch, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the let's blame it all on eating low carb,
Mm-hmm.
needing fiber, needing to that our bodies have to have plants to survive. Like plants are good, but by golly, they got a lot of toxins. And why
Yeah.
are you gassy and why do you feel swollen after you have plants?
Uh huh.
Um, that's what you
Yeah.
need to be asking yourself. But um
Yeah.
it's just what I see. It's what I see the trends on the internet, and then I get later, oh, the keto diet didn't work for me because
Yeah.
I stalled or I didn't lose weight or I
Mm-hmm.
felt gassy or I couldn't go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Those types of things. But then I have flashbacks to those articles about the guy and the calorie hands and or
Uh-huh.
the cholesterol hands, and then
Yeah.
you see him eating 6 ounces of cheese a day, and it's like that's where the balance that we're talking
Mm-hmm.
about. Like we say, yeah, bacon is a great tool,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you can't depend on just eating butter and eating bacon and
Yeah.
eating cheese
Yeah.
as much as you want.
Now, when I started my journey, I was so scared. And you know my story about I was just desperate to find something that worked. And I heard about this keto diet thing, and I'm like, I'll try it. I didn't know what I was doing. And so for literally 6 weeks, I ate bacon and eggs
Mm,
because I knew that those two foods were safe and I knew
yeah.
those were air quote, keto. And I lost a bunch of weight. I didn't feel the greatest, but that actually gave me my starting point. And then I
Hmm.
realized, oh, So there's more out there to this. There's more out there. You mean I can have some broccoli? I can have some. And so that's how I started. So, going far right or far left and going into one side of the ditches or the other is not a bad thing. But if
Right.
you stay there, you're not going to go anywhere. You've
Right.
got to find your lane, and you've got to get those tools, and one of those being macros.
Mhm.
And every time we say macros, we're gonna have the carnivores coming at us. Of, oh, you don't need all of that, and that's fine, right? But you got to find your lane, because carnivore's great. Like, it is a wonderful tool. I do literally feel the best when I'm eating carnivore. It is the 100% natural GLP-1 that you can get. I mean,
Right.
my story about GLP-1. You know
Yeah.
what I did, and there is no difference between the GLP-1 feeling of the medication and GLP-1 in the carnivore. No
Right.
diff- there's no. In fact, I think carnivore probably is a little bit stronger. So much so that it would make me mad because I wasn't hungry, because I wanted to go eat.
Right.
And so, yeah, I think it's actually stronger with carnivore. But reality says I've got to be there when my client says, "Monica, I'm so bored. I can't do it." Um, Funny fact, when we have a client who thinks they want to go carnivore, we support that. We'll walk them through it. But when they air quote cheat, they don't cheat to keto. There is no middle cheat for a carnivore.
Right.
It's either all or nothing. Like, it's either I'm carnivore or I am swimming in a pile of sugar. There
Yeah.
is no, like, why wouldn't you cheat and have broccoli? You know?
I don't know. I know that there's a lot of people that I've known that have gone carnivore, and they go binge eat on carbs, like how
Hmm.
I used to live my lifestyle
Yeah.
before keto, where was very I was low carb, low sugar, still did tortillas and beans and all those things that I had no idea about. But
Hmm.
then I would have my cheat days,
Yeah.
and that's what they would do, and then they wonder, like, well, why don't I feel good? Why
Yeah.
are my sugars so high? Why are, like, dude, that's
Yeah.
sorry, you
I,
can
I
tell
think,
I'm a millennial when I say dude.
dude.
I just caught myself. Sorry.
Well, it is
Oh,
so true. And, by the way, we have a hidden gem in our program. I didn't talk to you
what's
about this
that?
before.
What's that?
I forgot to do this in our staff meeting.
Oh,
We have a hidden gem that nobody knows about in our programs.
okay. What is it?
Fasting like a girl.
Oh,
I walked a client through yesterday who has been on this, right?
yeah.
It's not it's a program that scares me for our
Mhm.
clients,
Mhm.
because when you bring carbs back in, you're shooting a
Yeah.
lot of danger.
Yes.
And this particular client fell for it, fell for the comfort. Oh, I need 150 carbs today because I'm on my nurture phase. Okay, I'm going to have a donut, right? It wasn't that bad.
Right.
But that's the risk we take with this
Yes.
program. And basically what this program is, it's for perimenopause. Well, it's for all women.
It's
It's
for women.
If you're a man, sorry, it's not for you.
No.
There are no carbs for you. But when you're a woman, your cycle needs
Depends.
carbs
Yeah.
at a certain point in that monthly cycle. You need more carbs. And so we went and we got certified for fasting like a girl. And I love hate it, because there is a risk of losing a client to a binge with this. And one of the things that, as I'm working with this client, she, before she started fasting like a girl, she had irregular cycles. She was maybe once every other month. When she had a cycle, it would knock her out for a week. The cramping, the bleeding, all of that was so horribly bad. She would go into a binge, like
Mm.
eat all of the donuts. She would, just trying to make herself feel better. She was a hot mess.
Yeah.
I said, very reluctantly, because I am so scared of this program, I said, what if we try 4 months of fasting like a girl? She agreed. And she struggled to find her way a little bit. We had a couple of months where she, brought in some of the comfort foods and the chips
Yeah.
and things like that. She got a hold of her cycle. She knows where she is. She knows exactly what day she's on. Yesterday she said, I don't even know I'm on my cycle anymore. And it
Yes.
is every 30th day on the nose.
On the
She
nose.
has healed her body and she's a different person and
Yeah.
she's losing weight.
Yeah.
I I looked at this program and I had forgotten that she was on this program because we there's certain things that we look at on a client's record before and you just assume everybody's on the same. No, we're not. We are
No.
all of them are on a different one. And I'm like,
Hey, remember when you have multiple programs?
I know.
Remember that?
I forget about fasting like a girl
Yes.
because it scares me.
Yes,
It is probably the most life-changing program we
it
have.
is. I've been on it for a while.
For
And
perimenopause
yes.
women, for women who have normal cycles and for menopause women.
Mhm.
Like you can get your life back.
Yeah.
You don't even know you're on
Absolutely.
your cycle. Like it
Right.
is life-changing. If you're interested in that, I forgot we had it. And
Yes.
I was on my desk cheering for this
Yeah.
girl because she got her life back. Why
Right.
was I telling you? Oh, I
Oh.
was telling you this for a reason. Because um I said I wanted to because you can fall off the rails very easily. And what I did was when she goes on her carb feed days and her hormone feeding days, I said it is very, very important for you to note exactly what day you are on your calendar. And if you are on the ketobiotics side of things you do not go to a restaurant and get rice. Because the natural tendency when you have that in the back of your mind and you're like, well, I can eat those foods. Those are not bad foods. I can eat those foods during my nurture cycle. So why couldn't I just trade days? When you do that, you go into this frog in the kettle kind of attitude and you're like, well, it doesn't matter anyway. And then you wake up one day and you are in the middle of a carb binge and you did it naturally. You did
Yeah.
it because of the cycle and because of those foods and your attitude changes about those foods. And so I really instilled yesterday, don't get off your cycle. Don't get off that schedule. It's not worth
Right.
going into this natural tendency to go to a sugar binge.
Well, you also have to keep in mind that even if you are know your cycle, you still have emotions,
Yeah.
and your emotions are a lot louder at
Mhm.
times than knowing that, oh, I'm on my hormone feeding. And so that's when you're letting those emotions take over, and then that's when you get off. Like you were
Yeah.
just saying, you get off because that is like, oh well,
Yeah.
what's the point? I'm
Exactly.
stressed out. My
Mhm.
cortisol is high. Like I need this. And I
Yeah.
usually can have this during this time. What's the point? I could switch it. But it
Right.
does matter.
Right. It does matter. It does
Yeah.
matter because you're healing your body. And the
Yes.
other thing that people do is they take doctors who know nothing about nutrition. Sorry, you don't. Go back to school, take an entire semester of how your metabolism, shout out to Chris Palmer, Dr.
Yeah.
Palmer, your metabolism controls every fiber of every single thing you do.
Yep.
Why would you not go to a semester of nutrition when that is the foundation of your entire body? So
Right.
they take one careless comment from a doctor of, "Oh, go eat low fat. Oh, go get rid of red meat." And they run with it and then they fall off and they go into a cycle of binging. It's heartbreaking to watch.
What these doctors don't understand, I think that they are causing more harm than good when they are saying these things. If
Yeah.
somebody is choosing a better pathway, as eating natural whole foods,
Mhm.
and they're saying, oh, you need to go low fat, low carb because these numbers are saying this, even though they're clearly not understanding what those
Right.
numbers are doing, um, they are causing more emotional stress
Mhm.
on that person,
Mhm.
because we have had clients that have been told those things and they are emotional, off
Oh yeah.
track, because in a hot mess, and they are
Yeah.
doing more harm to
Yeah.
those clients than any good.
We had a woman tell her story in group the other night,
Mm,
and it made me tear up because thankfully we caught her right before she fell into the binge. We
yeah,
caught her right before and said, "Listen, give us a chance to correct what your doctor said. Give us a
yeah,
chance and and she's getting her blood tested because we have the ability to get labs for our clients now.
yeah.
And thankfully, she I think she said she had um
Oh,
one
somebody did
binge.
not focus her
I
phone.
know, I did. That's weird. She had one bad meal, and then she's like snapped out of it, and we got her through it.
Yeah.
If she had not, she would have gone. She had lost 100 pounds by that time. She would have reversed it.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
She made a good point where she said for every doctor that tells you to go on the standard American diet and tells you that your numbers are terrible, there's another doctor that's telling you the opposite of saying,
Yes.
"Hey, you're doing
Right.
good.
Yes.
These numbers look great. Don't worry."
Mhm.
You know, as if I looked at my number, that's exactly what happened when I got my blood done,
Mhm.
and they were telling me that my LDL was going to cause me to be put on a statin.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
I
What were you, 35 at the time?
no,
When did
I
they
was
put you on
just
a
this year.
statin? It was this year?
This year.
How old are you? By
Yeah.
the way, my doctor,
No, we don't need to know how old I am.
I went because they kicked me out of the practice because I don't go to the doctor, right? And so I
Yeah.
needed my mammogram ultrasound. I needed that, and you can't do that unless you have a doctor. Anyway, go in there as a new patient. She wanted to know your particular name, all of my siblings' names, their birthdays, and
Why?
I have no idea. I said
That's
my
creepy.
sister's 11 years younger than me. She's like, "Well, what year was that?" I don't know. I barely know. I was born in 1975.
That's
It was
bizarre.
weird.
I've
I'm like,
never.
"Is this a test? Like, are you trying to make me do math? Like, what? Why do you need to know my siblings' names and birthdays?" No
That's
idea. It was
if
really
somebody
weird.
knows, you should put
It's
it in the
really weird.
comments because I have no idea why a doctor would need to know that
I
stuff.
know. So anyway, that made me think like you were, I think I told her you were 35. I think I
Oh,
told her that.
okay.
So
I'll take it. That makes you even younger. You could have done 11 minus
I don't do
your
math,
age.
which I think I was being tested. I think she was testing my
Mm,
mental
if we
capabilities.
math, we do not math, but we
I
do
do
math.
not.
We math in a good way because numbers speak in
Right.
macros.
But your doctor wanted to put you on statins. Statins
Yeah.
cause
Yeah.
Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
They're proving it
Um,
now. You go off a statin, you get your memory back.
yeah. Isn't
That
that
I just saw
crazy?
that report here. You go
That's
on it, you
crazy.
lose your memory.
Yep.
Why? Oh, it's
Um,
criminal, I
you know,
think.
because really our body, our brains love healthy fats,
Mhm.
and they're telling you to go low fat, which is taking that fat from your brain.
Uh-huh.
So it's not allowing your brain to have its full potential.
Right.
So the low cholesterol medication, just imagine what that's doing to your
My
brain.
word.
Also, it lowers men's testosterone. So
Yes.
if you have to have a little blue pill on the side of cholesterol
Exactly.
medication, there's something wrong.
Well,
That's
is that
not
is that why we have so many feminine men? I mean, that's a real
I don't know.
question. That's
I
going to
don't
hurt
know.
some feelings, but
I don't know.
we don't have the burly men anymore that we used to have.
No, and it's more they give men lower cholesterol
Mhm.
medication more so than women.
Yeah.
So facts are facts. Anyway, we're talking about
Questions
bacon.
are questions as well. Yeah. All
I
of that to
think
say, no, we don't eat a pound of bacon
mm-mm.
every day.
It's a moderation
It's
thing.
moderation.
Even though they're like, "Oh, diets in moderation." That's a really hard one.
Yeah.
But if you are finding yourself following this lifestyle, maybe keto, maybe
Mhm.
carnivore, and you're finding yourself eating one thing so
Mhm.
a lot, it could be a problem. You
Yeah.
know, we talk about balance. We
Right.
say, you know, with dairy, I had to quit a majority of my dairy. I brought it back just a little bit,
Yeah.
just tiny bit, because I almost was at 250 days without dairy.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I made it to 230. But that's besides the point.
Yeah.
Moderation. Like
Yeah.
there's so many processed things in dairy and we're
Mhm.
just overeating it. A lot of keto recipes have the main ingredient being dairy.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
same with bacon, the same with chicken,
Yeah.
rotisserie chicken, things like that. If you're
Yeah.
eating an abundance of something and it's not a variety,
Mhm.
then I find you're gonna, you know, get stuck. You're
Yeah.
gonna have problems.
Well,
Keto junk, all those things.
yeah, and I think the key to all of that is being willing to be honest with yourself.
Mhm.
Because you can talk yourself in and out of anything, but how is it really serving you? Is it serving you well? I know, I used to do that with a glass of wine, or three. It's like, okay, it's low carb. It's, you can tell yourself, oh, it's reducing my stress because I feel better after I have a glass of wine. You can tell yourself anything,
Yes.
but in reality, is it serving you well? You
Right.
have to be honest with yourself.
Your body's great at telling you if you are having too much of something.
Yeah.
whether that mean that you have a constipation.
Mm-hmm.
Your body tells you a lot of things when you have constipation. Your body
Yeah.
tells if your skin has little bumpies on it,
Right.
skin tags, things like
Yeah.
that. It's your body telling you there's something wrong and something that you're doing that I don't like.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
skin tags, insulin resistance.
Insulin resistance. You
Boom.
have skin tags, you have insulin resistance.
Yes. Period.
Yeah.
Dark circles under your armpits,
Yep.
insulin resistance.
Yep.
Keratosis, sugar. Like
Yeah.
there's so many things that your body likes to
Yeah.
tell you. You're just not listening to it.
Right. Yeah.
You're
And
not paying attention.
you can tell yourself the lies for a while. And then finally, how's it working for you? Is it Dr. Phil
Right.
that says, how's it working for you?
How's it working for you? I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very, very simple.
Yeah.
So all of that to say is educate yourself. If you need help, we're here. If you need to get your cycle back under control, if you need to get your hormones fixed, if you need, based on nutrition, if you are addicted to sugar, if you're addicted to carbs, if you are addicted to eating, we have programs that match. We don't like you to sign up for a program and just kind of take a shot in the dark. We want to talk to you first because we don't want you in the wrong program. One of the things that we don't do is put people immediately into the fasting like a girl. We need to know
No.
where your basis is.
Yeah.
We need to know, okay, are you carb addicted? Are you we need to figure out where your metabolism is first. And then you qualify to get in that program and you literally can fix your hormones. It's a miracle program.
Yes.
And I was just reminded of that yesterday.
I have seen both sides where it failed and I have seen
Mhm.
Success.
Yes.
Like I have a client that's living her best life on that right now.
Yeah. It's incredible.
There is a mindset. It goes to all these things that Coach Monica just said about all of the programs if you're struggling with, but it comes to are you willing to work for it? Are you
Yeah.
willing to admit that you have a problem? Are you
Mhm.
willing to do everything that your coach is suggesting for you to do? Like you've got to be able to
Yeah.
come to that conclusion, which most people really aren't there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And even if you've chosen the GLP-1 track, even if you've chosen that, there's hope for you. You
Mhm.
don't have to gain your weight back. There is something happening out there right now. Just so you know, if you're on a GLP-1, just keep your ear to the ground on this, and prepare yourself. Okay. We don't know what's going to happen, but what is happening currently is people are receiving letters from their insurance companies saying that they are no longer qualifying for the GLP-1 medications because quite frankly, and people say, well, why isn't this approved for Medicaid, Medicare? Why can't we get it? Well, because obesity is such that it would bankrupt our system. It would bankrupt our country if
Yeah.
these things were covered. And insurance companies are finding out how much it costs to fix 52% of obesity in the country. And they're like, we can't do it. So
Yeah.
people are getting letters from their insurance companies saying, sorry, sorry, not sorry, you're not covered anymore. The cutoff is about July from this wave that's going through now. And if you come to us on a GLP-1 knowing that you want to wean yourself off of it, we have a program for that. It's called GLP-1 Recovery. What we do is we titrate you off of it. We introduce you to the pendulum products, put you on a natural GLP-1, and then we give you a reverse diet. But in order to do that, we need you for 4 months. That's a 4-month process. So what is happening now is they're putting their head in the sand and they're like, oh, it won't happen to me. My insurance company's great. My insurance company will never drop me. Oh, the FDA took it off the list. That's not going to happen, Monica. The semaglutide is not in trouble. Well, what's happening is happening and you're being immediately dropped. So then you are stuck. I mean, literally you're stuck. Food noise is raging back. You're gaining the weight back about 15 pounds. The average is about 5 to 10 pounds a month. I'm seeing it as high as 15-pound
Hmm.
regain a month the minute you go off of it. We had an emergency meeting, all of us practitioners in the food addiction world. What do we do with the GLP-1? What do we do in our industry when it comes to that? And there's a lot of talk about what to do. We're ahead of the game because, unfortunately, I did the summer of doom, right? And we created our program for this very purpose because people are in crisis. When that GLP-1 turns on, you have about 7 days before it to get out of your system, and then you start gaining the weight back before the food noise returns. Problem is, we need you for 4 months before you stop the shot, because we've got to titrate you off. If you go cold turkey, it's a fast wave. Nobody wants to talk about that because, number one, there's shame in GLP-1. Nobody wants to tell you they're on it, right? So there's shame, and there's a lot of stubbornness of, this is my way, get out of my way. I
Yeah.
have wanted help for so long. The help is here. The magical help is here. So get out of my way. I'll do anything it takes. And you and I were the same way. You wanted to laser your fat off of your body.
Yeah.
I sat at Grace College campus and said, God, if you get this fat off my body, I will never put it back on. Not understanding that there was a science why we put it back
Right.
on.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stubbornness when it comes to GLP-1. We're just telling you now,
Mhm.
prepare.
You want to hear a fun fact?
Yes.
Something I put together myself.
Yes.
So in the mornings we watch PBS. I know that that's a thing.
Uh-huh.
But we watched the Wildcrats before Silas goes on the bus.
Uh-huh.
They did an episode on the Gila monster.
Oh.
Now, the fun fact is they were like talking about the Gila monster that lives in the Sonora Desert over
Yeah.
in Arizona and
Yeah.
over in their area.
Uh-huh.
They mentioned that the Gila monsters our numbers are decreasing
Because they're getting killed for the shot.
because they're getting killed for the shot.
Oh my gosh.
They didn't mention that, but I'm like, well, I
Oops.
wonder why. Because Gila monsters are,
You have to have
they're
their
very
venom.
private. They're
Uh-huh.
very private animals or lizards or whatever they are.
Yeah.
They hide in the ground and they
Uh-huh.
don't move much. It doesn't take much for them to live, so they're not dying from lack of food.
People are killing them for their
But we're
venom.
using their venom, capturing them,
Ooh.
probably breeding them,
Yeah.
to have this for. Yeah, their
And
venom.
that was on PBS, so it must be true, right?
It must be true. It's on the Wildcrats, which they're
Oh.
very earth friendly. So
Wow. That
I'm
is
like,
actually
oh,
pretty scary.
I wonder
Yeah.
why.
We are looking at a perfect storm. And what Coach Darcy and I want to do is give you hope.
PETA needs to
Because-
get after that. Sorry.
Yeah, right. Do they have to kill the monster in
No,
order to get the
I don't
venom,
think
or do they
so.
squeeze it out of them? Or?
I'm sure that they abuse them and try to
Yeah.
get their venom out.
Speaking of abuse and PETA, side note, did you see that there was a ton of beagles that were released?
Huh?
They were being experimented on. Beagles, like the dog.
Like dogs?
Thousands of them. And yesterday, the Trump administration set them free and said, you're not abusing these dogs anymore. So PETA was out there thanking the Trump. Side note, like that was a side note. But yeah.
These are going to be wild beagles now?
Well, no, they took them out of the experimental labs.
Oh, so people can adopt them.
Yeah. Crazy
It's
stuff.
like I had an image of the beagles being set free into the wild.
Oh my
They're
gosh,
like, they're not
that's
going to
too
survive.
funny. We bring comedy to our podcast.
Oh, goodness.
I hear our audience just belly laughing.
They're like,
no, but seriously,
get back on topic.
We want you to be free. We want you to have success in your weight loss. And so if you've had success on a GLP-1, first of all, congratulations.
Yes.
But we don't care about that success. We care about you keeping it off. That is what we're passionate about because we're living it. I'm coming in June 10th, June 17th is my keto anniversary. It's going to be 8 years that I've kept the weight off. It's gone up and down. It's been hard, right? But that's what we care about. We care about the 8 years. We do not care about that first year. Anybody can lose 100 pounds. Takes grit. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it on the shot.
Yep.
Easy peasy. Now they have a rough time of it because they're puking their guts out. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Their stomachs are freezing, so they've
Going
got a lot of
blind.
hard stuff to them.
Yeah.
It's not easy for them.
Yeah.
But we care about the next 8 years. We don't care about that. So if that's you, put it in the back of your mind. Could my insurance company drop me? Could this go on the FDA approval list? What happens if I lose this? What is my exit strategy? That's what I brought to the table when my colleagues and I sat and debated the impact of GLP-1 and food addiction.
Mm.
I want to know, what is the exit strategy for this? Nobody knows. We can't answer that question. Right now, we've got the proof that 80% gain all of their weight back. We've got that statistic. But what is the exit plan? Get your exit plan together. So if you need help getting out of that, let us know. If you need, we've got our 3-month program open right now. We just started a brand new group. We just started about, there's 6 of them that just joined our group yesterday. So we're changing lives. We are excited about this. We're excited about what we have to offer. Let us know if you need anything. We are here every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can download our podcast every Tuesday morning. I think that one's released at 6 a.m. So you can download our podcast. That is called Beyond the Scale, Weight Loss and Wellness. And our website for you to find and sign up for a time for a free consultation is kmhealthcoaching.org. All right, Coach. We got a lineup of clients today. So that's where I'm headed. You're going to go eat.
I'm going to go get some bacon.
Bacon.
And eggs, because I'm out.
I don't know why you don't have chickens. You live in this perfect environment to have chickens.
Listen.
You should not be buying eggs.
Listen. I don't have any answer to
work. Put those boys to work.
It's not my boys. It's the oldest boy.
The old boy.
And the old boy that runs the roost.
Well, he might think he wears the pants, but you are his neck. That's what I've always been told.
Yes, I just support those other egg dealers. That's all.
Oh, that's right. Okay, capitalism.
I'm okay with that. Yes.
All right, guys. We'll see you next Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Bye.
Hey, it's Coach Monica here. Guess what? If you're fed up with feeling stuck in your battle with weight or food, I've got something just for you. Check out our free Facebook groups. Over at Food Addiction and Recovery, I'm over there waiting for you. We're going to walk this journey together. It's about getting real, sharing our stories, and lifting each other up. We're in this together every step of the way. And if you're curious about changing your life with keto, the Weight Loss Project is where you want to be. Coach Darcy is amazing. And together, we're not just talking about losing weight. We're talking about finding a happier, healthier you. So, what do you say? Are you ready to join us? The links are in the show notes below, and I'm telling you, this is more than an invite. It is the start of something great. We cannot wait to see you over there.